and welcome to the Russell County Board of Supervisors special call meeting, March the 17th, 2020 at 5 p.m. I'd like to first start off with call to order and roll call. Tim Lovelace.
Here.
Louis Wallace.
Here.
Carl Ray.
Here.
David E. Here. Steve Reed.
Here.
Forrest Christian.
Present.
And Rebecca Dye.
Here.
Ma'am, you have a quorum.
Thank you. First, we'll have our invocation and remain standing for the pledge, please. Thank you, dear Lord, for giving us another day. Lead, guide, and direct us. Look after our nation, our state, and our communities. We're facing some tough times coming to us. Put your hand out and with your healing power, reach around us. In all things we praise and give you the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our first item is to have approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
David, thank you.
Second.
Second with Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, our new business is the Russell County coronavirus COVID-19 local emergency declaration. We do have a couple of documents that we will read, and Mr. Lester will have them on the screen for us. The first thing is Russell County's declaration of local emergency coronavirus. Whereas the coronavirus, COVID-19, is a communicable disease that threatens the public health and was declared by the World Health Organization, WHO, to be a public health emergency of international concern on January the 30th, 2020, and its spread was characterized by WHO as a pandemic on March the 11th, 2020. And whereas the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia declared a statewide state of emergency on March 12th, 2020 in the Commonwealth of Virginia to continue to prepare and coordinate response to the potential spread of the COVID-19 virus, a communicable disease of public health threat. The anticipated effects of COVID-19 constitute a disaster as declared by State Statute 14-146.16 of the Code of Virginia. Whereas on March the 13th, 2020, President Donald Trump declared the United States of America to be in a state of national emergency to the COVID-19 pandemic, and whereas COVID-19 poses a threat to the public health of sufficient severity and magnitude to require a coordinated governmental response to mitigate the spread of the disease. Whereas, accordingly, state and local governments are directed to render appropriate assistance to prepare for this event, to alleviate any conditions resulting from the situation, and to implement recovery, mitigation, opportunities and activities as to return impacted areas to pre-event conditions as soon as possible. Emergency services shall be conducted in accordance with State Statute 14-146.13 of the Code of Virginia, and all of the Code of Virginia. Whereas the Russell County Board of Supervisors, Virginia, defined the imminent threat to the public health and safety of our residents of Russell County posed by and resulting from the COVID-19 virus to be of sufficient severity and magnitude to be an emergency and to coordinated local government action to prepare for, prevent, respond to, or alleviate any potential damage, hardship, suffering, or possible loss of life. And it is therefore to be resolved in accordance with this declaration, the Russell County Emergency Operation Plan is activated. Furnishing aid and assistance under the plan are authorized, and all appropriate county departments and agencies are hereby vested with and authorized to carry out all powers, duties, and functions prescribed by the federal, state, and local laws, rules, regulations, and plans as may be necessary to adequately and appropriately respond to the local emergency, providing emergency services, emergency assistance, and by taking emergency actions. Be it further resolved, the Russell County Board of Supervisors hereby declares a local emergency in Russell County, Virginia, effective 5 p.m. on March the 17th, 2020, pursuant 44-146-21 of the Code of Virginia. Adopted this 17th day of March, 2020. All right, do we have a motion to,
Madam Chair, I make a motion we approve this resolution and authorize signature of the same.
okay,
Second.
Lou? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we will get this signed. All right, what has led to this, we have received, I'll go through some of the documents. The first is from the Supreme Court of Virginia. It is an order declaring a judicial emergency to respond to the COVID-19 emergency, and this was signed by Donald W. Lemons, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Virginia. This outlines what the court system is to do and how they are to operate during this emergency. We did receive an executive order from our governor. It came down on March the 12th, 2020, and it talks about the Virginia Emergency Operations Centers, which we are fortunate. We do have Mr. Jess Powers, and we have Carl and Mr. Christian that are working together for Russell County. And Lonzo, next, we do have the letter from Dr. Cantrell. It is addressed to you, so if you would like to read that to the public, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is from Dr. Cantrell. She is the district director for the Department of Virginia Department of Health for the Cumberland Plateau District. And it states, "Dear Mr. Lester, as we work together in our communities to spread and impact the COVID-19 infection as much as possible, acknowledging that at this time there has no been confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Southwest Virginia, but in consideration of the vulnerable population residents in Russell County, based upon the high rates of disability among our working age people, hospitalization rates for ambulatory sensitive conditions, generally in the Medicare population, the number of elderly with and without co-occurring medical conditions, and high rates of chronic disease in our rural, medically underserved community by every metric published. I support the Russell County Board of Supervisors and y'all's decision to move preemptively in your efforts to get ahead of the situation by a local emergency declaration. I believe the data presented from the past outbreaks and various community responses supports y'all's decision also. Eleanor Cantrell, MD, District Director, Lena Wisco, and Cumberland Plateau Health District. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And to discuss, we did have a meeting last Monday with local agencies, and then last Wednesday, Mr. Powers had a meeting here also with included federal, state, and local agencies to discuss our plan and what is in place. And this was all presuming something would be put in place. Then the governor did declare our emergency, gave the executive order. Then on Thursday, they had a meeting, a follow-up meeting yesterday with all agencies, and did finalize it, and everyone stated how they would be working and what they would be doing, and it was a very productive meeting for the county. We do have our plan in place, and we are ready, and we have made our declaration. So at this time, I guess our next thing is to have a motion for adjournment. We've approved our declaration. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
and second by Lou. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.